This is the base I built during the beta weekend of Dune Awakening, a sandbox survival MMO set in an alternative timeline on Arrakis, the harsh desert planet from the science fiction novel Dune. Before starting this build, I challenged myself to incorporate the game's rocky terrain, making use of the map's verticality to protect my character and base from Shai Hulud, and to really put the game's building mechanics to the test. By the time the weekend beta was over, my base featured a ground level garage to store and protect my sand bikes during dangerous Coriolis storms, a cliffside staircase leading to multiple platforms I didn't have time to utilise, and my base management room where I kept my subfief console and generators. At the top of the staircase I built an open walkway over a natural arch. From here I saw the most beautiful views across the desert planet. It led to the main building housing my crafting stations and living quarters. Location, location, location. Every good base starts by finding a great location. So I headed out into the Haga Basin to try and find one, and it didn't take long until I hit the jackpot. I love this little arch. I want to live here. Oh my god, I'm going to live on an arch. It's like got natural steps up as well. Oh, this is awesome. I'm going in the side of this cliff, I think. I think that's the plan. Having just found the perfect place to set up shop, it was time to place my subfief console and mark my land claim. That is the area in which I could build my base. I just placed mine bang in the middle of the arch because I had no idea of what I wanted to build yet, but I'd recommend thinking your placement out carefully, as I had loads of problems and had to move mine multiple times, and unlike other structures in the game, for some reason unbeknownst to me, I did not get the resources back that I used to craft my subfief console when demolishing it. Do you not get your resources back for it or something? Is that what happens? Now, Arrakis is an inhospitable planet, so I needed somewhere to keep myself safe from the elements during my build. So I put down some foundations, placed a generator, moved my subfief console over, and then built some walls and a roof so I had a temporary base where I could take shelter. With the basic setup, I was ready to start my build, and since I wanted to incorporate the arch that I found and make that the focus of my base, I started placing triangle foundations along the edge of it to create a walkway. Now, the reason I used triangle foundations was so that I could create the angles I wanted either end to build a base, and also a staircase on the opposite side that lined up parallel with the cliff faces at each end. Oh, that's good. Right, we're going with it. I'm happier with that than I was what I've previously had. So let's get these floors in. Thankfully, it didn't take us too long to get the positioning right on those initial foundations, but I did feel like they weren't really tying into the terrain, so I decided to build a wall down from them by placing more foundations below. But I hit a bit of a problem because they just wouldn't snap to each other. I don't think the support was there underneath in the terrain. Now, you'll have already noticed that I was placing green placeholders, which are called projections, and you can use these to plan your build before committing to placing any structures or prior to even having the resources, which is a great mechanic. And I was able to use this to build down with projections using triangle roofs and walls to create the snap points I needed to get the foundations where I wanted them. So if I pop that there, then go to a triangle, then I can place that. That's cool, that, you know. Let's demolish that and that, and then that can go on top. People who are saying the building is bad aren't builders. I'm just telling you now. If you're a builder, you're gonna like this. I'm just putting that out there. You're gonna like it. I was off to a good start here, but being my usual perfectionist self, I went to see if any of the foundations I was placing was sticking through the underside of the arch, because that would just look terrible. I wanted this to be clean and the arch to be on shore, and I got jumped by the local NPCs. Get away from us, you creep. No, don't grenade out. We killed them. I think that was a death sign. Hang on, did that still hit me from that far? Just gonna block and hope for a parry. Go on, get wrecked. Suit down, dead. Woo! Right, that's the way to deal with them then. From there, I extended the walkway out and into the rocks using triangle floors. I then edged them using a railing because, well, it just looked better to me, but also the Emperor's probably got some sort of health and safety regulation I have to follow. Happy with how the walkway was looking so far, I decided to start work on the main staircase, which I wanted to build into the cliffside to provide easy access up to my base, but without protruding too far or detracting from the aesthetics of the arch. Honestly, I was really hoping there would be a simple solution for this, but due to the steepness of the slope and the area or the restraints of my land claim, I ended up spending the vast majority of my time on the build taking care of getting this right. I hate to admit this, but what I ended up building was a multi-story car park looking structure, with each stair set leading to a platform or balcony, which I later supported with pillars. I used round edges for this part of the build just to soften its appearance, as I didn't want the staircase to look too separate from the already sharp and angular terrain. Again, I added railing around the edges of the platforms and the stairs, just like with the walkway above, which really helped tie the two different sections of my build so far together and make them feel like one. Keep building and run the stairs down in the same place again. Know what I'm saying? Now, like I say, this was the hardest part of the build, so I did loads of experimentation to try and overcome the jankiness of this terrain. But what you will notice is I ended up repeating the same idea at the top, another level down, and then at the ground floor, I had to change things up a little and use foundations. There was no way, though, with my land claim to get actually onto the desert floor, so I ended up expanding them out one more step so I could run a staircase down. And once that was in position, I added two railings and triangle walls underneath just to fill in the gaps, and that did the job nicely. It's only taken 1,000 years. But we're there. Do I love it? No. Does it do the job? Yes. With the staircase being complete, it was time to start working on the main building, so I began placing square foundations at the end of the walkway on the opposite side and tying them into the cliff there. Now, there wasn't a lot of room due to the lack of rock and also the edges of my land claim, so I had to extend out using square floors, and I liked this so much that I decided to do it with triangle floors all the way along the walkway and tie them into the cliff face there just to widen it a little bit. And of course, I had to add railings to that side of the walkway too. Does anybody else here have a hard time not being a klutz? The actual build itself, I thought I would experiment a little bit with the different structures available for walls. So I added windows around the bottom and then stacked wall style 2 on top of those. But this made my base look a little bit like a mushroom, which wasn't the look I was going for. Does it look like a mushroom now? So in the end, I swapped the walls around, placing wall 2 on the bottom and the windows on top, and this looked much better, so I finished off the building using angled roofs. Right, there we go. We're nearly done. We're nearly safe. Let's bring the light in here because I can't see a thing. Where we're sticking it, we'll stick it here for now. Right there. That's better, that's better. At this point, all the heavy graft was pretty much out of the way, so I decided to take a quick inspection of my base, and I noticed it didn't have the best structural integrity, so I played around with adding pillars to any overhanging balconies or walkways around my base, and this really helped establish it within the terrain by giving it a better sense of connection. Wait a minute. Who are you? If you don't know what that meme is, please sort your life out, because it's a flip. It's the world's greatest meme. So that one seems dumb. Maybe I put that one in the wrong place, but I had to get everything set up top without things collapsing. We'll get another one going. That looks pretty wicked. That, to be fair, I quite like 3. You want to see the arch still. Inspired by how much better those pillars made my base look and my walkways a lack of shelter from the sun, I added a porch to the front of the main building using triangle roofs. Right, nice. And then this should go out and leave a full length for the walkway, correct? I supported that with pillars and then added a railing around the top to create a balcony. Would you like some balcony with that base? Yes. Yes, please. More balcony. But I didn't have a way up there, so I added a door on the first floor and then a staircase leading directly up to it on the inside. Again, I added railings and filled in the bottom with triangle walls. Don't let us do any more, guys. Don't let us do any more building yet. We need to take a break from building, I think. We've done loads. Absolutely tons. It's been fun. I've liked it. I enjoy the building on this. That doesn't mean we can just build all day. Well, it does. We can. I think my little staircase looked great, but there is no denying that it took up a good amount of floor space within my main building. So I decided to build a separate base management room on top of my multi-story car park staircase where I could house my sub-thief console and generators, and it actually really improved the look of this side of my build and added some balance to my design overall. There we go. There we go. Happy days. Happy days. At this point, I decided to stop building because I'd been going for absolutely ages, and the build, to be honest with you, was as good as done. I did have plans on how I'd like to expand and improve it over the course of the beta, which I got a little bit carried away with and might have done. Now, I reckon what I'll do is that top platform will probably become part of the bottom build, that top building, and we'll expand it around the other side as well, and then we'll build up a little bit. But again, are we going to have time? Now, unfortunately, I had planned to film a nice bespoke tour for you guys, as well as some really impressive cinematics, but the beta ended an hour earlier than I'd expected it to, which is on me. I got it wrong. Luckily, I did take my chat on a tour of my base during a live stream, which means I do have some footage to show you, so we're going to take a look at that now. This is now my garage. It has been extended. My bike's here. We got a little window out the back. Obviously, I have a nice cliffs on the inside, and this is my refinery. I put it down here because it doesn't really feel like it should be down here, but at first we were using it to make fuel, which I've got stored in this storage box. If we just head out of here, the ramp's much more accessible. I love these floor lights. I've been putting them as like markers at the top and bottom of stairs and ramps, and at night it really just kind of like lights up the route that you need to take to get around your base. So I do really like that little touch. And then, if I head up these stairs to the top, like I say, this is the generator room. So, where I do my base management. And I'll probably stick another Jenny in here if we need it, although I doubt we will during the beta. Up here, we've got this little outdoor balcony or ledge because we haven't got enough balconies, obviously. And the same across here. Gives us some nice views over the Hager Basin. And even see our own little base. Look at that, it's gorgeous. If we head around the side, I continued this round and stopped it, and I put a ladder there so we can get up and into the base off here. And I want to put like a pillar on the edge there, but I actually built this out further. But because I couldn't do it all the way to the back of the cliff, I've just curved it out there and it fits in. And I think that's making the build look a little bit more of an interesting shape. So if we go into what was the original base on its own, I've moved everything around the outside here. So we've got our fabricator where we refine our stone and our recycler. Got a little light. And then I've placed the stairs here. Like I say, I expanded that out with the curve. It did stop along this wall here, so I had to make it bigger. I think that looks nice, and I love the ceilings. The building pieces are so nice. Get up the stairs. This little level, I added it in a repair station. So we've got that and some storage. And this is really nice. You just literally click on the thing you want to repair, and if you've got the materials in your base, you hit spacebar and it fixes them. You do, like Conan though, lose a little bit of durability. Then we've got our blood purifier, and look at this. Look at all this water, baby! I got 2 water tanks and all this water. Look! And that is because I've been going out at night with my sickle to fill up with water, so we didn't have to worry about that today. I've added this top room, which is where I think when we get the table and things, we're going to decorate this into like the hanging out room. And this used to be a balcony below. Now it's an even higher balcony. So I think it's looking nice. And then I forgot to show you, we've got like just another little balcony out here because, you know, I'm going to have to change my name to like the Balcony Bro or something. Oh, well, Balcony Bloke works, doesn't it? I could just be called Balcony Bloke. So as you can see, at this point, I hadn't actually finished the living quarters of my base, and that was because I needed decorations and furniture. So I headed over to the Anvil trading post and purchased the Chome office and bedroom furniture sets. And you can get the bedroom furniture set.
The bedroom furniture set.
Yeah, I'm going crazy. After checking out these new structures, I designated areas within my base for them, and I moved things around to create a bedroom, a living room, and a dining area that I ended up absolutely loving. It's time to furniture set up to the max. This is the important part of base building. Right, well, there we go. There's the upstairs decorated. Yeah, I've got these around the base. I just didn't think it would sit nicely. That's sick! With the finishing touches done and dusted, that was my base complete. So I thought it would be nice to get a second opinion. The opinion of my friend and expert base builder, Lols at Lance. Now, obviously, he took a look around and was blown away. And if I remember correctly, he had a little cry, shed a little tear, and finally admitted that I'm a much better base builder than he could ever be.
We're going to your base?
Yeah.
I've got it marked.
We're going to the left of this place.
You can go left or right. I'm going to go right because it's faster. Ready? 3,
Right, okay,
2,
I'll do that.
1,
Yeah.
go.
I'm already going.
Oh, yeah. Look at the squad.
Yeah, let's see the improvement, shall we?
Well, you should have noticed improvements already with the garage.
Oh, yeah, the garage. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah. Don't be cheeky, that's one. There's lots of improvements.
Maybe a little seating area outside would be nice.
It
Have
would
a cup of tea
be.
out there.
I've got a couple of balconies that could do with some seating, but...
Whoa, okay. You cooked. Where do you get this double bed from? I need to know.
There's a double bed in the game. Are you joking?
Shut up. Shut your front door.
There's a double bed. Have you got a double bed? You get it exactly the same way. I noticed there was 2 options. It was buy the Chome bedroom furniture and buy the like living room furniture or whatever.
Oh, are you kidding me? I didn't see it.
Do you like my little bedroom? It's cute, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
I wish you could use the stuff as storage.
Yeah. And it costs way more than the actual storage itself. 50 granite for each of those pieces of furniture.
They were expensive, yeah.
Oh.
Have you seen the top floor, Lance? Why have you not commented on
no,
me sexy seating areas?
Oh yeah, look at this. Nice.
Look at this
lights.
amazing chair here.
Oh, shut up. What's this chair? Aw. This was
Lance,
all part of the new thing? Oh, I'm so gutted.
Lance, now that I've found this stuff, I now win. I won the base building competition this time, baby. Just because of that. That alone. Anyway, that was my base during the Dune Awakening beta, and I thoroughly enjoyed building it. The structures and mechanics are easily some of my favourite in any game I've played so far, and I can't wait to get stuck into more building on the game's full release, especially since we were limited to 1 structure set, just the Chome structures for the beta. For now though, I'm going to call that there. Thank you so much for watching. It would be class if you could like, subscribe and ring that notification bell. But until next time, you guys take care and I will catch you later. Cheerio.